Here are 3 creepy, true horror stories that unfold when individuals find themselves alone in the woods, each one more unsettling than the last. Story 1. The Silent Watchers, a vast forest in rural Michigan. In the autumn of 2021, a man named Eric decided to take a solo camping trip in a remote part of Michigan. He was a seasoned outdoorsman, confident in his ability to handle the wilderness alone. After setting up his campsite, he ventured deeper into the woods, hoping to capture photographs of the stunning fall foliage. The woods, once inviting, now felt foreboding. Heart racing, Eric reached for his flashlight and cautiously unzipped the tent. Yet nothing was there, only the darkness of the woods and the shadows dancing around the trees. He decided to turn in early, but sleep eluded him. Around midnight, he heard faint whispers drifting through the trees, voices he couldn't quite make out. She aimed to visit an old fire watchtower, a historical site long abandoned, but rumored to be haunted. The excitement of the adventure kept her motivated as she trekked further into the wilderness. Each time he strained to listen, the whispers grew silent. The moment she stepped inside, she felt an uncanny heaviness in the air, a sense of being watched. The wind howled through the cracks. Confused, she wandered outside, peeking around the trees, but saw nothing. Desperately trying to find her way back to her car, but the laughter returned, echoing through the trees. Alone, he intended to spend 3 days hiking and reconnecting with nature. He was excited to explore the wilderness, unaware of the lurking horrors ahead, the soothing sound of the water lulling him to sleep. But Mike awoke in the early hours to a chilling sensation. He felt someone or something moving just outside his tent. Too frightened to confront it, he lay still, listening to faint whispers encircling his campsite. In her frantic escape, she stumbled upon a clearing with remnants of a playground and old rusted swing set swaying gently, as if touched by unseen hands. And Mike struggled to find his way back. The once familiar trails began to twist and turn, leading him in circles. Desperation struck as he stumbled upon a shallow grave, still freshly dug, where nature can mask dark secrets and evoke the unknown. The earth loose and disturbed. Panic surged through him, and he turned to escape, but the whispers returned, louder this time, echoing around him. The laughter faded into the wind. Confused, he decided to press on with his hike. A haunting reminder that some places may worship the lost, forever claiming souls amongst the trees. Hoping to shake the unsettling feelings from the night before, the experience lingered, and despite her love for hiking, the encounter made her realize that some places were best left alone. He claimed he saw shadows flitting between the trees and heard a voice that told him he could join the others. Local searchers revealed that many had gone missing in those woods over the years. Some bodies were never found. And soon, it was difficult to tell if the sun was setting or just obscured by heavy clouds. Suddenly, he felt an odd sense of déjà vu, as if he had been in this very spot before. Jenna never spoke of her experience, but she often wondered what or who those voices belonged to, and why they seemed to beckon her into the darkness, sending shivers down her spine, creating eerie sounds that resembled whispers. Dismissing her fears, she began exploring the area, snapping pictures and taking notes. As evening approached, he returned to his campsite, enjoying the solitude. That's when he noticed a strange silence descending around him. The usual chirping of birds and rustling of leaves halted, followed by soft, sing-song voices that called her name. Every fiber of her being told her to flee. Summoning her courage, she unzipped the tent, only to be met with an eerie void, nothing except darkness and silence. As he retraced his steps back to his car, but rather filled with the spirits of those who lost their way long ago. Since that trip, Eric has never returned to those woods. Haunted by the feeling that something was watching him, waiting for the right moment, he stumbled upon several small piles of stones arranged in circles, strange and unsettling. When he finally reached his vehicle, he was met with a horrifying sight, a series of fresh scratches on the paint, as if something had clawed at it. Feeling an inexplicable chill, he shrugged it off, built a fire, and prepared dinner. Later that night, as he sat by the flickering flames, he felt as though he was being watched. Then came the unmistakable sound of footsteps crunching on leaves surrounding his tent. Days later, after several panic-stricken hours filled with strange sounds and the sensation of being followed, he decided to pack up and leave. It wasn't until he returned home that he learned of local legends of belief among some that the forest was not silent at all. Story 2. The remains of the Fire Watch Tower, an isolated area in the Sierras, California. In 2015, a young woman named Jenna embarked on a solo hiking trip to a remote area in the Sierra Nevada mountains. After several hours, she finally reached the Fire Watch Tower, a dilapidated structure half reclaimed by nature. As evening descended, Jenna set up camp nearby. Just as she was about to go to sleep, she heard distant echoes of children's laughter. Later that night, she awoke to scratching sounds at her tent. Paralyzed with fear, she held her breath. The scratching grew louder. In a panic, Jenna grabbed her gear and ran down the trail. When she finally reached her car, her heart raced and her hands shook. Story 3. The Lost Man, a thick, untamed forest in Oregon. In the summer of 2018, a backpacker named Mike decided to venture into the untouched forests of Oregon. On the first night, he set up camp by a serene creek. The next morning, he discovered his food bag had been rummaged through, but there were no visible signs of an animal. As the day wore on, he ventured deeper into the woods, taking a different path that seemed less traveled. The atmosphere grew dense. Night fell rapidly. Days later, rescued by a team searching for him, Mike recounted his ordeal. While he escaped, Mike would never return to the forest. The whispers lingered in his dreams. These true stories revealed the chilling reality of being alone in the woods.